Hello, dear Super family. This is Super Chat 2024. I'm Ivan, and tonight I'm honored to be joined by our next amazing group of Miss Supranational 2024 candidates. Please welcome them. Miss Supranational Guatemala,
Hello.
Miss Supranational Paraguay,
Hello.
Miss Supranational Peru,
Hi, Ivan.
Miss Supranational Puerto Rico,
Hi, Ivan.
Miss Supranational Uruguay.
Hello.
Ladies, thanks for joining us tonight. Let me just remind our audience that you guys all shall and need to support your favorite candidates. Please take a look at the description box below the video. There's a voting link over there. Click through, vote, and support. The voting for this group goes on for 72 hours. Our candidates tonight will have to answer 4 questions. Number 1 will be their introduction. Number 2, personal question based on the facts from their biographies. Number 3, question from Miss Supranational fans. And number 4, one and the same general question for all of them. Queens, if you're ready, let's go. Andrea, Miss Supranational Guatemala, happy to meet you and happy to welcome you to the Super family. Could you please briefly introduce yourself to our supranational audience?
So, hi, Ivan, and hi to all my super sisters. I can't wait to meet you all. Well, I am Andrea Zapeta Garcia, proudly representing the land of eternal spring and the heart of the Mayan civilization, Guatemala. I'm 29 years old. I am a lawyer. I decided to study law because during the last year of high school, we as a family, we passed through a very difficult situation where the court of justice, authorities, police officers were involved. So we felt like unprotected at that time, and I decided to become the first lawyer of the family. And then during the COVID pandemic, my mom told me that I shouldn't waste my time, even though we were passing through a pandemic. So she's constantly pushing us to never stop learning. So she told me that I shouldn't do something else. And I started to study my master degree. So thanks to her, I have my master degree in procedural constitutional law. And then I went to London for about 6 months. I lived there for about 6 months to study English. I truly believe that I improved my English. I know that it's not perfect at all, so if I make some mistakes, I apologize for that, but I'll be doing my best.
Nice.
And thank you. And then I'm currently studying a postgraduate degree in global political and economic affairs. Why politics? Because being a politician is one of my biggest aspirations. Even though I know that politicians are not well seen around the world, I truly believe that it's an opportunity to help so many people in a massively way. And that's something that I would like to do. Well, I am a military parachutist. I am the third sister, so I grew up in a family where surrounded by women. So I learned to be an independent woman. And it was such a beautiful way to grow up, even though I had to learn so many clothes. That was such a beautiful experience to grow up surrounded by women.
Thank you, Andrea. Happy to meet you and welcome you to the Super family. Miss Supranational Paraguay, happy to meet you. Welcome to the Super family. And can you please introduce yourself?
Hola a todos. Soy Sofía Meyer, Miss Supranational Paraguay 2024.
Hello, I am Sofía Meyer, Miss Supranational 2024.
Estoy muy agradecida de estar aquí con ustedes y de poder tener esta experiencia con esta gran familia.
I am very thankful to be here with you and to have this experience with this big family.
Thank you very much, Sophia, and welcome to the Super family. Miss Supranational Peru, Natalie, happy to meet you and happy to welcome you to the Super family. Can you please briefly introduce yourself?
Hi, Ivan. Hi, everyone. My name is Natalie Terrones. I am 29 years old and I am Miss Supranational Peru 2024. I am a physician. I finished my career when I was 16 years old. I finished my career when I was very young. Also, I had 23 years old. And I consider myself as a committed and a hardworking woman. That's why I decided to become a volunteer firefighter in Peru. We don't receive a money from being working for people. So I think both professions makes me a huge woman that wants really to help people.
Great meeting you, Natalie, and welcome to the Supra family. Miss Supranational Puerto Rico Fiorella, happy to meet you and happy to welcome you to the Supra family. Can you please briefly introduce yourself?
Hi, Ivan. It's so nice to finally meet you. Thank you for providing this space to share a little bit more about our story. And thank you to all of the viewers who are connected with us today. My name is Fiorella Medina, and I was born and raised in Puerto Rico until I was 18 years old. And I left to the University of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia when I was just 18 to study psychology and communications. I thought it would be impossible to get into this college. And when I did, it was a huge achievement for me. And I wanted to do it because I wanted to go back to Puerto Rico and fortify our education. When I graduated, I left to New York to work as a management consultant in a multinational company for 5 years. But one day I woke up and I was like, this isn't what makes me happy. And I took a huge risk and I quit my job to follow my dreams, which was to launch my own holistic health business and to be here with you guys today, become Miss Puerto Rico Supranational. And while a lot of people thought I was a little bit crazy, I always say that when you follow your heart, you end up exactly where you need to be. I consider myself to be a multidimensional woman. I don't like to be put in a box. I am a businesswoman, a health coach, a yoga instructor. And while a lot of things have changed in my life, I've remained constant in one thing. Well, I would say two things. My passion for working with children. I've done it for more than a decade, since I was only 14 years old. And the love that I put into every single thing that I do. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Thanks, Fiorella. Great to meet you and welcome to the Supra family. Miss Supranational Uruguay, Lola, happy to meet you and happy to welcome you to the Supra family. Can you please briefly introduce yourself?
Of course, thank you so much, Ivan. Hola a todos, hi everyone. My name is Tania de los Santos, but all the people call me Lola, and I am Miss Supranational Uruguay 2024. I'm 26 years old. I have a degree in human resources, but now finally I'm studying fashion design. I work as a model, a content creator for many international brands, and an actress in 2 TV shows in my country. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and it's an honor to represent my beautiful Uruguay in Miss Supranational 2024.
It's an honor for us that you're with us, Lola. Thank you very much for joining today. Thank you for your introductions. Guys, let me just once again remind you that you can support your favorites in our voting and help them advance to the next phase of Miss Supranational experience. Next up, we have personal questions for our candidates. Miss Supranational Guatemala, Andre, here's your personal question. You already touched upon this a little bit, so let's expand. Tell us how growing up in a family surrounded by women shaped you to be the person you are today.
Wow, what a beautiful question. Well, you know that my mother, I grew up with my mother. She was a single mother when she raised us. Actually, I will say that my mother and my sisters taught me to be independent women, brave, but with a kind heart. And that would be something that I will appreciate about my education. And then my sisters has taught me to follow my dreams no matter what, to trust in my gut, to follow my heart. And I would say that nowadays, my heart shaped in a way that they taught me how to combine my professional career and my personal life. And that's exactly how I try to do, being a beauty queen as well, and combine my professional career as a lawyer. So actually, because of them, I'm here representing Guatemala. Like they were the one who pushing me to do this experience.
Yeah, what a wonderful story. Thank you for sharing. Miss Supranational Paraguay, Sofia, your personal question. Tell us about a time you found an opportunity in a crisis.
Bueno, la primera vez que pude encontrar una oportunidad en una crisis fue en tiempos de pandemia que no teníamos, ¿verdad?, en trabajo ni no teníamos dinero. Entonces, o sea, uno de los primeros emprendimientos fue hacer tapabocas para la venta en aquella crisis.
Okay, the first time I found an opportunity in a crisis was during the pandemic, when when we found ourselves like without jobs, and we had to we had to do this face mask, to sell it to make some money.
Okay, thank you, Miss Paraguay. Miss Supranational Peru, your personal question. You actually touched upon this a bit in your introduction, but now we would like to know more. Tell us what you do and why do you love doing it?
As I said in my introduction, I am a physician. I work as a doctor uh, for 5 years right now. I decided to become a doctor, of course, because I love the profession, but I think, in my opinion, there's something else more than to be just working. I think being empathetic and being working your life has to be like a model for the people who is looking at you. And I didn't find any other profession more beautiful than medicine, like to be practicing this, to be empathic with the people. And that's the message that I want to send to all the people around the world. And which better platform than me, Supranational.
Thank you for sharing your story, Natalie. Miss Supranational Puerto Rico, Fiorella, your personal question. As you mentioned, you left Puerto Rico at the age of 18. Tell us more about that and how you grew as a person from that experience.
It was very hard for me to leave my family behind. I was actually the first woman in my family to leave to study in the United States, but I'm a firm believer that we grow exponentially when we're outside of our comfort zone. And I know I mentioned this before, but I thought I had my doubts. I didn't know if I could do it. But you can only learn if you try things. And by leaving, I was able to not only become a professional executive in New York City, but I ended up doing what I actually wanted, which was get the preparation that I needed to help people. And with that, I've done so many different educational seminars with different communities. I've traveled around the world doing this, and I must say that all of this happened because I took the risk of leaving Puerto Rico, but I am Boricua. We say that there's a saying in Puerto Rico that it's like you're Boricua even if you're born in the moon. So I'm Puerto Rican even if I'm born in the moon, and I carry this with me every single place I go. The vibrant feeling, that culture, the food, the soul, it's a huge part of who I am, and I have it here in my heart.
Thanks for sharing your story, Fiorella. Thank you. Miss Supranational Uruguay, Lola, your personal question. What has been your greatest artistic achievement?
I think when I started to work in the TV, because I love my shining, and it's really amazing for me because the opportunity to work with others amazing people, for me it was amazing. And now I'm preparing to be my best in others TV shows, so for me it was amazing working the TV in my country because it was difficult, and for me this is the most beautiful experience.
Okay, thank you for sharing this, Lola. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to get to know you better. And now it's time for questions from Miss Supranational fans. Miss Supranational Guatemala, Andrea, here's your question from super fans. If you had to choose the most beautiful memory you have had that you would love to relive, what would it be and why?
Okay, that would be. I grew up in a farm, so that would be my childhood. I will be definitely happy to go back to those days where all my family were united. I mean, my grandparents, my uncles, and aunts. And I would definitely choose that stage of my life. Why? Because I felt like I was living, now I truly believe that, but that time I was living like in a dream. Freedom, no responsibilities, like responsibility of being an adult. And then because I had that connection with the nature, and that's something that my grandparents taught me. So I will definitely choose my childhood back on those days, living in the farm, having a connection with the animals, with the nature, and having my family like unite.
Yeah, thank you for your answer. Wonderful. Miss Supranational Paraguay, question from super fans to you, and it is pageant exclusive who's asking this question. You have prior experience in pageantry. How has that experience shaped you?
Bueno, la verdad es que es mi primera competencia, mi primer concurso de belleza. Tuve la oportunidad de poder ganar y representar a mi país.
So this actually was my first beauty contest where I participated. This is my first time to represent my country.
Y la verdad es que estoy muy agradecida de poder llevar mi bandera y cómo me formó, en realidad es para tener esa sororidad entre mujeres. Me enseñó muchos valores importantes que debemos tener. Y bien, algo que me quedó muy grabado es de erradicar el dicho que una mujer, el peor enemigo de una mujer es otra mujer.
So I am very thankful to carry my country's flag, and how it helped me shape is that I started creating a sorority among women. So we can I can say that now I am working to eradicate that saying that the best or the worst enemy of a woman is another woman.
Well, thank you for your answer. Miss Supranational Peru, Natalie, your question from Superfans community. Describe a situation in which you had to overcome a stereotype or prejudice.
Being in the national competition of being of a supranational reminds me a little sad part that I have to overcome because a lot of comments in social media, on Instagram, when they started to publish the pictures of the candidates, they said that I was not enough, I would not win, that I am not taller as the other girls, I am fat, so that makes me feel like very very sad, and but also I took it to make me stronger. That makes me stronger, I didn't fell down. I took this into mind and I said, all the girls around the world, even not just in my country, around the world, are looking at me. Look at you. Who are you? What did you do in your whole life? You are a model. And I think if you are participating in this beauty contest, you must be it. You must be a model. So I took it, and I am so proud to say that yes, I am the woman right now. I am trying to be better, not just to look better. I mean, to feel better.
Okay, thanks for sharing your story, Natalie. Miss Supranational Puerto Rico, Fiorella, question from Miss Supranational fans to you. What do you consider to be your life's purpose?
My life's purpose is helping others bloom through education. And when I say that, it's because since I was a little girl, my parents taught me to water my garden. So my name actually means flower in Italian. Fiore means flower. And I've had that in my mind since I was very, very young. I actually went on my first community service trip to the border of Haiti and Dominican Republic when I was 14. And in this trip, I saw that a lot of the teenage girls in the town were moms. So I was very taken aback. And when I went back to Puerto Rico, I made it my mission. This was more than 10 years ago, to help people, marginalized communities, progress with education. Because I thought to myself, I've met women and girls that have the same abilities, the same potential, but they don't have the voice. They don't have the tools to progress. So I was like, that's just not fair. So I know it's a hard task to do, but that's why I got certified as a holistic health coach, because I wanted to get tangible tools that I could give people, such as breathwork, yoga, things that help you validate and control your emotions so you can work for your goals. So I know that's a very long summary, but I would say in very basic terms, it's helping people through education, helping them blossom. Because if you get the right amount of water, your soil is nourished, you're surrounded by people that give you energy, you have the potential to do anything that you want in life. And that applies to anyone. It doesn't matter your background, where you come from, your state, you have the potential to progress in life.
Thank you. Wonderful answer. Miss Supranational Uruguay, Lola, question from super fans to you. What qualities do you have as a woman that you would like to share with girls, with your super sisters?
Well, when I was 22 years old, I suffered cyberbullying, and with my passion and my resilience, I work hard to be my best and felt enough with me. And definitely, if I need to choose one characteristic in myself, it's being authentic, it's being resilient and passionate. Like an Uruguay, it's the second smaller country in South America, and sometimes the Uruguayan people it's underestimated. And we have the abilities. It's not about if your country is small. It's not about your makeup, your hair, your dress. It's about you. It's about your essence, and it's about your values and your legacy.
Yeah, great answer. Thank you very much. I'm sure Miss Supranational fans are super happy right now. And last but not least, one and the same general question for all of you. Miss Supranational Guatemala, your time to answer today's general question. What is the most important kids can learn from grown-ups and grown-ups can learn from kids?
Okay. Well, I think that the most important thing we can learn from kids will be happiness. Like nowadays, we as an adult, we tend to focus on material things and not on the thing that really matters, like being alive, having the chance to see the trees, to even to walk and run. And kids are happy without every single small thing that you give them. And that's something that we can learn from them, that you can be happy in every place, no matter what you're having, but what are you living. And what they can learn from us, I will say that being responsible, like, because as an adult, we have the responsibility to, and obligations as well, to being a citizen and, things like that. So I would say that they can learn from us to be responsible with the things that we as an adult should do.
Thank you very much for great answers, and welcome again to the Super Family, Andrea. Miss Supranational Paraguay, Sofia, your time to answer today's general question. What is the most important thing kids can learn from grown-ups and grown-ups can learn from kids?
Bueno, para mí es importante que puede aprender un niño de un adulto serían los buenos valores que perdimos ya hoy en día como sociedad, que hoy en día ya no están inculcándose en los...
Okay, what kids can learn from or grown-ups is the values that are lost now in our society now, and those values are very important in our society.
Lo más importante que pueden aprender un niño de un adulto es los buenos valores, como por ejemplo la sororidad, ejemplo en el respeto, en el valor de la amistad, todos esos valores, el valor del agradecimiento, que sería la gratitud.
The kids can also learn from grown-ups is like sorority, friendship, gratitude, and um, and that's it.
Yo creo que los valores son el verdadero sentido de la vida y lo que nos forma como buenos seres humanos, como buenas personas, buenos hijos.
So values are really helpful for us as human beings. They form us as friends, as son and dad, woman, I mean everything.
Sin estos valores, hoy en día yo veo desde mi punto de vista, desde mi sociedad, que está como muy decaído todo eso.
So with these values, I see, in my point of view, that everything is like low, everything is like decayed without these values.
Y yo estoy muy agradecida con mis padres por haberme inculcado buenos valores, por haberme arraigado esos buenos valores. Creo que hoy en día yo soy una muy buena persona gracias a ello.
I'm really thankful for my parents who really gave me many of those values, and now as a woman, I am really, I can say that I learned these values. I am thankful.
Thank you very much for your answers, and thanks for joining us tonight, and welcome to the Supra family. Miss Supranational Peru, your time to answer today's general question. What is the most important kids can learn from grown-ups and grown-ups can learn from kids?
The main thing kids should learn about grown-ups is to have a model in the future to follow and to inspire the other ones and to be empathetic with the humanity. And the otherwise, grown-up people should learn from kids, not lose that innocence and that hearts when they were kids from the bottom of their hearts.
Thank you for your answer, and welcome to the Super family, Natalie. Miss Supranational Puerto Rico, your time to answer our today's general question. What is the most important kids can learn from grown-ups and grown-ups can learn from kids?
I love this question. I would say that the most important quality kids should learn from grown-ups are a lot, but what comes to mind is resiliency, consistency. A lot of times when we try to do something or try to become someone, we get stuck, we find obstacles in the way, and we give up. The key is to keep going. You have to keep going. And when we give that example to kids, that fuels them to know that they can put some gasoline on their car whenever they want to keep going. You have to keep going, no matter what. And that's what my dad taught me since I was a very, very little girl. The show must always go on. So that, I think that's a beautiful thing to learn. But if it's not accompanied by the idea that you have to put your passion and love into what you do, you're gonna get stuck. The two elements that for me have granted me success, and I know I have a long way to go and a lot to learn from people and from this experience, for example, is perseverance and passion. So I would say those are the two main things: perseverance and passion for kids to learn from grown-ups to flourish. And then I would say that from grown-ups can learn a lot of things from kids, but me constantly, I'm always observing them because it helps me connect with my inner child and remember that the little things make a huge difference. We have to learn to savor the little moments in life just like they do so candidly. And every time that I work with kids, for example, last weekend I was giving a breathing seminar to little kids and a gratitude workshop. And they would give thanks for the food that they ate that morning, the hug that their mom gave them before they went to school. Those are the important things. The big things matter too, but there's just so much beauty in the little details of life. And so I think that's what we can learn from kids.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you very much, Fiorella, and welcome to the Supra family. We're looking forward to meeting you in Poland very soon. Miss Supranational Uruguay, Lola, your time to answer our today's general question. What is the most important kids can learn from grown-ups and grown-ups can learn from kids?
I really think the children have a good imagination, and the children are very creative. And maybe when I am an adult now, sometimes I lost my imagination and the ability to create something. And I think this is the most important to learn about the children's. And for the children's and the adults, I think the adults have the responsibility to teach to the children's about the culture, good talents and good tools to the world, to make a good person.
Yeah, thank you for your answer, Lola. Thank you, ladies. It was great chatting to you. Before we wind up, let me just once again remind our audience that you guys can support your favorite candidates and vote for them in the Miss Supranational app. Check out the description box below the video. And see you soon in episode 10. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.